Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing problem number 1 on LeetCode, two-sum. It's probably one of the most famous LeetCode problems out there, and it's on the blind 75. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the problem statement. Given an array of integers nums and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. Okay, this is great. So I have a couple of notes here that we're going to start out with, but let's go ahead and read through the examples. So basically what it's wanting to do here is it's wanting to add each one to equal 9. So for instance, 2 plus 7, yeah, that equals 9. So we're going to return the indices of 2 and 7, which is 0 and 1, right? If we go to the second example, we can see here that we have 3 plus 2, and that does not equal 6. Then we're going to go to the next one. So 3 plus 4, does that equal 6? No, it doesn't. What about 2 plus 4? Well, yeah, that does equal 6. So we're going to return 1 and 2. And here we only have two things in the array, so we're gonna return 0 and 1. So that's a simple edge case right there as well too, right? Our edge case is if the length of nums is 2, then return 0 and 1, right? So that's the first edge case. So we don't have to do any work if it's already just two integers in the array. The second thing is you can see that what I was doing was I was going through each number, but I was also keeping track of 1. So I had 2 there, and then I was going through 7, 11, and 15 if it didn't equal 9, right? Here it's kind of an easy example, but in 3 it's like, okay, well I have track of 3. Now I'm going to go to 2 and 4. Well, none of those equal, so I'm going to keep going. So 2 plus 4, okay, that does equal, that's 6. And the best way to do this is in a nested for loop. So let's go ahead and code this out. All right, so if nums.length is equal to 2, return our array of 0 and 1, right? And the second part is we're going to create the for loop. We're going to create the nested for loop. So for let I equal 0, I is less than target.length. Sorry, it's going to be I is less than nums.length. And then it's going to be I plus plus. After that, we're going to say for let j equal I plus 1. We don't want it to equal 1 or 0 because I is already taking care of that for us. We always want to be one step ahead of I, right? So j is going to be nums.length and j plus plus. Alrighty, so we're just ticking these off. We created the nested for loop, and the first for loop keeps track of the first number in the array. It's the first number. And the second keeps track of the second number, which is always going to be a step ahead. Now, if nums of I plus nums of j equals the target, then we know we have our answer, so we'll return that answer. So let's go ahead and do that. If nums I plus nums j is equal to our target, we're going to return nums. Whoops. We're going to return the array with I and j. Alrighty, let's go ahead and run this. Our test cases are looking good, and let's submit this. Alrighty, we got an accepted answer, 83 milliseconds and 43 megabytes. And let's go ahead and get started on example number 2. Instead of trying to find two numbers that equal the target, we're going to keep track of each number and we're going to store it in a map with its index as its value. Then we're going to check if the difference is already in the map. And if it is, we're going to return the map difference with its value, which is the index, and our current index. So let's go ahead and get started with this. We're going to initialize our variable map to an empty object. Then we're going to create our array I is less than nums dot length. And we're going to say I plus plus. And we're creating our iteration and we're starting from the beginning and we're going to go through the entire array. Let's go ahead and keep track of our num, which is nums of I. And let's go ahead and keep track of our difference, which is target minus num. The next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go ahead and set up our conditional. So if map of difference already exists in our map, and also map of difference equal to 0, because 0 is a null value, so if our index is 0, it would return false. It would go on to the next thing and try and store the number. What we're going to do is we're going to return map of diff and the index that we're currently on. Otherwise, we're going to store our number equal to I. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to console log out our difference and our num. And I'm also going to console log out our map. And let's run it. All right, so we passed all of our edge cases. You can see here at the beginning, let's go ahead to case 4 that I created. You can see here at the beginning, we have a difference of -2 and 11, and we have an empty object. And then we have -6 and -15. You can see here that we stored 11 on the last go around to its current index of 0. Then we're going to keep going. So we still haven't found the difference yet. We're going to go to 9 and 0. And so now 15 has the index of 1. And so on and so forth until we actually get to that difference, right? And then once we get to the difference, once it exists already, 5 and 6, then we're going to return 5 and 6. So you can see here, all right, well, 2 does exist. That's our different number. 2 does exist in our map, right? So now we're going to return map of diff. And because we're on number 6, we're going to return I. So we don't store, we don't keep going through the map. We're already done with the map. So that is how that works. All right, let's go ahead and submit it. And that's it. That's both of our solutions for this problem. Alrighty guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week.